YouTube, welcome to my channel. I'm Gigi Alive, and I wanted to do a video today in regards to what has been going on with my health. I usually do videos about reselling, Poshmark. I'm still into plant-based dieting. I'm trying to get totally back to it. These are some stuffed mushrooms, got a little bit of mozzarella cheese and sun-dried tomatoes on there. Really good. So I was just sitting here thinking I really need to get all of this information that I've got in my head from the last couple of days on a video, so that way I can help other people understand if they ever in my situation. So if you're interested in looking at reselling videos, I will be having those probably in the next month or so, but right now I'm just going to try to catch you up on my health issues. So you know that I have lupus, and I also have heart arrhythmias, and I also have some thyroid disorder. But what has been happening lately is I've been having ventricular tachycardia caused by continual PVCs, a premature ventricular contraction, and I actually work in this field. I've worked for American Heart Association for a long time in the heart field of education, and I also am a cardiac analysis technician with Barty Diagnostics. So I may say some terms that might be difficult for most people to understand, so I got my flashcards and I got my ECG workbook out, and so I'm going to go over some of this as easy for you to understand with pictures, so that way you can see. So when you have an EKG, it is getting the electrical recording, because think of it like this. What makes us live is energy. Like, we literally are electrical beings. So our cells, our blood cells have energy that can be recorded electrically with electricity. And it's so amazing. It really is. It's just a very phenomenal thing. And I'm Catholic, I'm a Christian, so I just believe God is amazing, how He built this beautiful body of ours on the inside, and how we have the ability to record with the EKG machine, and also how we're able to find methods to repair our heart arrhythmias. And arrhythmia means an irregular heart rhythm. That's basically what arrhythmia means. But I just think it's amazing. So that's why I really love what I'm doing at my job at Barty Diagnostics, Baxter International. We have a carnation. I'm gonna get the ambulatory monitor out for you to, well, not the monitor, because I actually don't have my monitor anymore, but this is the box that it's shipped in. So I will explain to you more about what happened with mine in a little bit, but just so you know, this monitor it's the best on the market. It's really, really good, because it actually is a monitor that goes down the chest, right in the center, and that makes a big difference in getting, see, the monitor comes right down here like this, and it peels on, and there's a button that you can press, so that way if you have an event you can actually see. The monitor is very thin, so it's not going to be bulky, and because it sits right in between the breasts, even for a woman, it's going to be more comfortable. Now, with any monitor, you could have questions, and so in the packet they have questions that are most frequently asked. So you have information here. Then you also have a phone number that you can call, and you have a video on YouTube that you can play and watch about the monitor. So there's lots of information you get in your packet, but one of the most important things is the fact that when you have the monitor on, there is a button there that you can press to determine, okay, I'm having here's the monitor here, this is what it looks like. And if I'm having an event where I feel like I'm having that palpitated heart, that heart that's going really, really fast, then I can press that button. So when you press that button, immediately it gets the, you notice that, okay, this is something that I need to make sure my doctor sees. It doesn't necessarily mean that like someone's going to come to your rescue immediately or anything like that. It's not a live recording, but when the scan is read and when the technician is making the report to the doctor, they have to make sure they get those actual strips of the reading that has the button press on it. So that's really, really important, the button press. So let's talk about what happens when you have ventricular tachycardia. Well, ventricular tachycardia, like I said, it's a very fast heart rate. Anytime you have palpitations, anytime you have that racing heart, most times it's some kind of tachycardia. So you may experience a dizzy feeling, you may experience shortness of breath, you may experience shakiness, you may have a hard time trying to get your words out, and it can be scary. For someone like me who's had it like all of my life, it's been a part of my life since, I can't remember when I didn't really have it, I really can't. Tachycardia is something that's very common, but ventricular tachycardia, it's a little bit different than just a normal tachycardia. Now, tachycardia means that it's going to be a heart rate that's over 100. So a normal heart rate should be between 60 and 100. If it's lower than 60, it's called bradycardia, meaning that it's a low heart rate. That it's not always good to have low heart rates. People think, oh, well, low is always good. No, low is not always good. So in children especially, because their heart rates are a little bit, think of it like this. A child is kind of like hyper, right? Hyper kids, right? So their heart rate's going to be higher. As you get older, your heart rate will start to drop a little bit. And older people can have a lower heart rate. Someone who is having a normal heart rate would be between 60 and 100, and usually they're not going to spike up to, let's say, 180 unless something happens. Now, things can happen in your life like stress. Things can happen like illness. Things can happen like you already have a heart problem already. You may have high blood pressure already. You may have blood pressure control issues. You may have diabetes. So these are different things that can actually cause your heart rate to spike up. But stress is a big factor. A big factor. So, get my glasses. I don't know what happened when I turned 50, but my eyes stopped working completely. So we talked about ventricular tachycardia. This is a monomorphic tachycardia, meaning that it is a tachycardia that is the same. It's not changing. So it's mono, meaning the same. And in this one, you can see that it's like, we used to call them tombstones. They kind of look like fingernails, actually. But they can look different depending on the situation. Sometimes you will have a regular heart rhythm and you'll have like about 6 of these or whatnot. Usually you have to have about 3 to have an actual ventricular tachycardia. If you have just like 2, that's going to be like a PVC that happened, and that's what starts the ventricular tachycardia, which I'm going to show you PVCs as well, because that is a part of what happens when you have VTAC. So VTAC starts with a PVC, and a PVC kind of, well, they look different depending on what, what your heart is like. Everyone's heart, it's almost like a fingerprint. No one's heart rate is identically the same. Even within your lifespan, the heart rate's going to look, the EKG is going to look different. When I say the heart rate, I mean the EKG. The EKG is going to look different. So when you have someone who has a regular heart rate, you may think, oh, well, they've got a normal sinus rhythm. Everything looks, good, but it can look different than let's say someone else's, and have a normal sinus rhythm, which means a regular heart rate as well. So if you have someone who has a PVC, okay, now, this is a normal sinus rhythm with a 3-beat VTAC run, ventricular tachycardia. So it starts with what we call a PVC, which is this, premature contraction, premature ventricular contraction. And like I said, when there's 3 or more, that would be a VTAC. So I'm trying to find you a picture of just one PVC that's on a normal sinus rhythm. So with me, I have PVCs and I can actually see them like with no problem. I can literally feel them. I say see them. I can literally feel them when it happens. Like, oh, I'll look at the screen when I'm on a monitor and be like, oh yeah, I'm having a PVC. Now the thing about a PVC, these are multifocal, meaning there's 2 different kinds of PVCs. And it kind of looks like you have a normal rhythm, then all of a sudden the heart prematurely says, I'm going to just do this real quick and go back to a normal rhythm. Do this one. So most of the time they will actually look the same. They won't necessarily always be multifocal, meaning 2 different looks to them like this. But it doesn't really matter if you have this one or if you have that one. They're still PVCs. The way they affect you, it may be a different way it affects you, but basically you'll feel it. It's almost like someone has got your heart and is holding it like hostage for a second, and then they let go and it goes back to normal, then they do it again. And so with me, I was having that so consistently. I could just be sitting watching TV. I could be trying to go to sleep sometimes and I can't go to sleep because it's happening so much. I was having consistent PVCs that would turn to ventricular tachycardia. So when I had my heart, I asked my job if I could have a heart monitor. And so they got me a heart monitor and I put it on. This is in October. And I actually had a, can't remember how many runs of VTAC, but I did have some VTAC that they found. And the monitor goes from here all the way to here. Like I said, it's a long monitor, it's thin. And I didn't even push a button to say that I had any events because I was so used to feeling this way. So I needed to get an ablation done. When I tried to get the ablation the first time, my doctor said, let's go ahead and put you on some medication so we can see if we can control it with medication. Well, because I was having so much stress in my life and I was not able to have my medication regularly, that was causing me to have more ventricular tachycardia, more PVCs that turned to ventricular tachycardia. So my doctor said, we're going to have to get you an ablation, which would be my 3rd ablation. And I'm going to explain to you really quick on the next video what happens with the ablation. So we're at 13 minutes, and I didn't want to go more than 10 minutes, but I did want to explain to you what cardiac monitor does and what ventricular tachycardia is and what happens when you have PVCs that are consistent. So we're now at the 13-minute mark, so I'm going to have to stop the video, and please come back for part 2 where I'm going to discuss what happens when you have a cardiac ablation for PVCs and ventricular tachycardia. Thank you so much for watching. If I helped you in any way with this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in hearing more things about survival stories, I have another channel, 2 survival stories, that I am starting about survival stories. And if you want to talk more about reselling or have any questions about that, please put it in the comments below. Thank you so much, and subscribe to my channel if you're interested in anything I have to offer. Have a great day. Bye.